In this video, we're going to step through in the VividCharts editor here, how we can take this great foundational project status report template that we have as a starting point, but make it our own by updating the data, the aesthetics, the visuals that are actually being used. Now, as a PMO or an organization, your status report could and should look like your brand with your data. So we're going to step through the concepts of how you could do that without needing any developers whatsoever, because a non-technical user like me can step through this with ease. So the three key areas we're going to show where we can make updates to this are the data itself, how it's visualized in terms of the charts we're using and how it's laid out on the slide, and lastly, the aesthetics. You're going to see how the styling works in VividCharts so you can easily apply your organization's brand to the report. Let's get started. So just as a baseline here, you can see anything that I select here on the screen is its own element that we can drag, drop, resize, whether it's a chart itself or an image like a logo or a shape that we're using for styling. So everything is fully configurable on the data side and the styling side. Let's show you what I mean. Let's say we're an organization that, while program is a great concept, we haven't started leveraging the program concept yet, but we do use portfolio. So I just want to take this chart specifically, go into the data cog and say, hey, for this field, we don't want program, we want portfolio instead. And in just a couple of clicks, we've made that update, styling already applied to the chart. We're now looking at the portfolio rather than the project or the program. Now, let's say as an organization, we care about all of this information, but we also want some financials on the status report. So to do that, all we have to do is build a few new charts. So let's go through the process step by step. We open up our chart creation interface here and just start to scroll through, and you see a lot of different charts that we could potentially use. But to show our financials, these are just fields. So we have a chart specifically built to represent fields like you're seeing over here. So let's select that chart. Our data source is just going to be a standard table, and that data lives on the project record. So let's pick the PM project table. Now we just need to select the same project that we're pulling data off of, additional office space for Singapore office. And just like our other charts, we just need one column and one row. Once we've got all of that aligned, we can just search for the field we want, and we want total planned cost. So let's click save, and you can see it has appeared on our editor here. Now we'll style this up in a second, but before we do that, let's add one more chart, the field selector again, and we're going to go with planned and actuals on our status report. So we'll pick the project table again, find our project record, one column, one row, and we just search for our field, actual cost. Click save, and now we have both data points on the editor here. Next thing we have to do is just style it up to look nice and consistent with the rest. So to do that, we would just select our chart, open up our style menu here, and start to make updates. And what's really nice here is, I can make updates to this chart individually, but I can also toggle to these other charts so I can match the styles with ease. So if we open up the label styles here, you can see we're size 24, open sans bold, and the text is white. So we can just toggle over here, go to size 24, make it bold, and update the text to white. Now we're looking nice and consistent. So what else do we need to update? If I toggle over here, the values are size 20. So let's go over and make our value size 20 over here, make it white, and then it looks like we have a border applied, so we'll just remove that. And we should be looking nice and consistent here, so we'll just size this up. And now we're looking good. So we'll just do the same with this chart very quickly, take the title off, no container styles, size 24 on the label, bold and white. Values, size 20, and just need to change the color. All right. Now, we're looking nice and consistent, but one more thing stands out to me. In these other charts, the project and project manager, both capitalized here, but in this chart, it's just showing total planned cost. So let's go in and actually update the label here. And maybe we even want to shorten it. We'll just say total cost, and our chart updates. So we can take these charts and actually apply more user-friendly naming conventions as we need to. And the financials, maybe we just want to, put them a little bit further down. So we'll move the rest of our data points down. Now we've added a little bit more info to this top header section. All right, so we've updated an existing chart with a new data point. We've created 2 net new chart types to show some financial information. What else might we want to change? Well, the description, while it's valuable, it could be a little bit redundant week after week, so maybe we just want to take that off. Now we're working with a little bit more real estate here, so maybe we give that to executive summary in some of these other fields, but we probably have room to squeeze one more chart, so let's go with the percent complete chart. Now the percent complete is just a field on the project table, so we'll pull that up as our data source. The field we want, percent complete, and we just find our project record. All right, now we've got that chart on the editor to work with. And we probably want to do a couple of things. We might want to start to style it up, take the title off. Maybe we want the progress bar to match that header at the top. So we'll make that a nice blue. And we don't have a background, so we want to add a little bit of styling to the container itself to make it match the rest of the report. And we'll give it a border radius of 10. So now we're looking consistent aesthetically. But how do we want to lay this out? So this is a similar chart to the overall health up there. So maybe we want to just move the executive summary down a little bit, drop our percent complete chart in there, and then just make sure we're sized to feel nice and consistent. All right, so that's starting to look really good, but we have a little bit more real estate to work with, so maybe we do 2 things. We extend the executive summary down a little bit to give a little bit more room to work with. And let's do the same for key activities plan and last week's achievements, which, just as a reference, is pointing at the project status table and a project status record. So we're showing data points not just from the project record, but from the project status table for these 2, project task table for the key milestones, and multiple tables here is risks, issues, decisions, actions, and requested changes. So all the data points can be leveraged on this standard project status template. So we've gone through the 3 key sections, modifying the data points themselves. What data do we want included? We've changed visually what we're doing on the report by updating the layout, the sizing of different charts, and adding new visuals like the percent complete chart. And along the way, we've updated the aesthetics using our style menus to make it a nice, consistent, branded feel for the whole report. Now, the purpose of this video is to stay in the editor. We have other videos in the library that show how we take this standard template and produce it in an automated fashion for project managers, stakeholders, and executives to leverage and make decisions off of. But that's going to do it for this editor-focused video. Hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch. Have a great rest of the day. Thanks a lot.